Hey friends, welcome. April 9th, 2025. What if instead of being a figure from 2,000 years ago, he was here now in 2025, walking our beaches, riding our buses, sitting quietly in a waiting room beside us? What if he still taught? Not from a boat or a mountainside, but from street corners, rehab centers, and food banks. This series imagines just that. Jesus Christ living and loving among us today. Each sunrise brings a new city, a new story, and a new outpouring of grace in a world that so desperately needs it. Today is Wednesday, April 9th, and we find Jesus on the island of Oahu in Honolulu, Hawaii, a place famous for its postcard beauty, but also carrying deep wounds beneath the surface. Let's follow his day, moment by moment. Watch what he does, listen to what he says, and open our hearts to be changed. Join me. Let's walk with Jesus. At 5 a.m., before light touches the palm trees, Jesus walks barefoot up the Diamond Head Crater Trail, the loose gravel crunching under his feet. A group of college students jogs past him, earbuds in, oblivious to the man beside them who holds the universe in his hands. He reaches the top just before the first golden rays spill over the eastern sky. There, at the edge of a stone lookout, wind brushing his hair, he drops to his knees. Abba, he prays aloud into the breeze, let me see this city as you see it. Let me touch hearts that are hardened. Let me carry burdens people no longer speak of. Let me find those who've been silenced, those the world forgets, and remind them they are known and loved and worth everything. The sun rises behind him, casting his shadow forward over the land below, a symbol of the light coming into the world once more. At 9:20 a.m., Jesus steps quietly into the YWCA Fernhurst Transitional Home. The facility hums with contagious energy. A counselor escorts him to a small community room where 5 women sit in a circle, nursing paper cups of lukewarm coffee. Each of them carries invisible weights: criminal records, domestic violence, lost children, addiction, regret. He doesn't take the center seat. He chooses the floor. He looks up at the woman leading the group and says gently, "May I listen?" One by one, the women speak, hesitantly at first. One recounts her relapse last month. Another shares the pain of having her parental rights terminated. Another just weeps silently, unable to speak at all. Jesus listens to every word as if it were a sacred offering. Then, when the room falls silent, he finally speaks. "There is no shame in your story," he says softly. "Do you know the first people I trusted to carry my message were not the powerful, but the broken, the doubted, the dismissed, and women like you." He tells them about Mary Magdalene, about the Samaritan woman at the well, about the woman who touched the hem of his garment. "Your scars are not your disqualification," he tells them. "They're your testimony. You don't need to be perfect to begin again. You only need to say yes." The woman who couldn't speak earlier, she now looks up, and in a cracked whisper she says, "Can I start again today?" He reaches for her hand. Today is the perfect day. By 12:15 p.m., Jesus walks under the shaded entry of River of Life Mission in Chinatown, where volunteers are prepping food for over 400 hungry guests. The air smells of stew, steamed rice, and antiseptic. Dozens of people already wait in line. Elderly men with walkers, young mothers holding children, a group of newly arrived Micronesian migrants. Jesus greets every volunteer by name, despite having never met them before. He doesn't just serve food, he remembers. He makes eye contact, he jokes, he asks questions. To one man in a tattered army jacket, he says, "Tell me your story." The man hesitates, then opens up about PTSD, years of drifting, a broken marriage. Jesus doesn't interrupt. He listens like he has all the time in the world. Then, kneeling to rebandage the man's cracked feet, Jesus whispers, "You're still a warrior. The world might not see it, but I do." A mother spills her food tray in line and bursts into tears, her toddler wailing, humiliated and exhausted. Jesus rushes to help. Instead of simply cleaning up the mess, he kneels in front of the mother and says, "You're doing better than you think. Your child sees your strength." By 3 p.m., Jesus is walking Kūhiō Avenue, weaving through the stream of vacationers. Beneath palm fronds and storefront lights, he moves unnoticed, but never unaware. Outside the Moana Surfrider Hotel, a local musician plays slack key guitar under a banyan tree, his case empty. Jesus pauses, listens, then sits beside him. "Your music is like a prayer," he says. "Don't stop playing just because the world is too busy to hear." He leaves a folded note and all the cash from his canvas bag. The note reads, "Heaven sings when you play." Later, at Kūhiō Beach, Jesus sees a girl in a wheelchair watching other kids play in the waves. She looks away every time someone runs by. Jesus kneels beside her and gently places a hibiscus flower behind her ear. "You belong in this joy too," he tells her. Let's go to the water. He rolls her chair to the edge of the surf. Her eyes light up, and as her feet touch the sea, she laughs for the first time in months. Aww. At 6:20 p.m., the sun lowers into the horizon. The sky becomes a watercolor of oranges and purples. Jesus walks past joggers, paddleboarders, and couples on blankets until he sees a man alone with the surfboard beside him, head in his hands. The man has just lost his job. His girlfriend left. His surfboard is cracked, like him. Jesus sits beside him, wordless for several minutes. The waves crash. The wind speaks. Then Jesus says, "Sometimes we think we're drowning, but it's the moment right before we learn how to breathe deeper." The man begins to cry. Jesus looks into his eyes and says, "You are not disposable. Your story isn't over. You are still made for glory." He then helps the man carry the broken surfboard, together, step by step, toward the street. Just after 8 p.m., Jesus slips quietly into the open courtyard of the Kūhiō Church. The historic coral walls glow faintly under the moonlight. He sits on the stone steps, arms resting on his knees, face toward the sky. The city moves around him. Cars pass, voices echo, but he is still. "Father," he prays aloud, "let the seeds you allowed me to plant today grow. Heal the woman in Fernhurst. Feed the man with the broken heart. Hold the child by the sea. Thank you for every smile, every tear, every hand I held. Let me walk again tomorrow. Let me never stop." Then, with a smile so full of hope it could mend a soul, he stands and walks quietly into the night. And that was the day of April 9th, 2025. Not a parade, not a platform, just love in motion. Jesus walking among us, one soul at a time. He didn't seek headlines. He didn't need a stage. He found the forgotten. He lifted the weary. He healed in silence. He restored in whispers. And he's not done. Tomorrow brings a new city, a new face, a new chance to be changed by the one who will still walk our streets. Join us tomorrow and every day after as we follow the steps of Jesus right here in 2025. Now, before you leave, I'd like to say a prayer for the hopes, needs, and intentions that you hold in your heart on this day. And I'll lead. Please join me. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Amen. That was beautiful. Hey, we're doing this all year long. A new city every day this year. We're only a quarter of the way through the year, so I can't wait to share all the other stories, all the other adventures and interactions that Jesus has as he shares his love with us and with you. If you don't subscribe to this channel, please hit the subscribe button. We'd love to have you as a part of our community. And as always, don't forget, hug your family. They love you. God bless you, friends. I'll be back tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.